Hey guys, I knocked this little preform out of a Burlington flake. I thought maybe we'd do something like maybe I'll work on this piece, but maybe I'll just say that. Maybe we'll just take a flake, because I know a lot of people starting out. This is the type of material that I sell, that me and my wife sell on our Etsy shop, and not just Burlington flakes, but just random flakes in a box, and just about the size people get, little flakes like this. I thought it'd be cool to make a video of just making a point out of a flake like this. So we'll get started a little bit backwards compared to like knocking down big pieces, just some pressure flaking. A lot of times with this stuff here, all you really need, if you basically want to do it, would be find my hammerstones. This really is basically an antler pressure flaker and a hammerstone. Now I might use a couple other tools to do this. I might use a little bit of my billet and my Ishii. But you could do this with just these two tools. Maybe I'll just try to do it with these two tools. This is the kind of point we can make with just an antler and a hammerstone, or an antler pressure flaker. It's got a thick spot here compared to how thin this is over here, so we're probably gonna lose some of this thin stuff right away, just because it's not gonna be in our finished point anyway. So let's knock a lot of that. I'm basically just striking straight down. This is, a piece of flint this size is not going to make a big point. You might get an 1.5 inch point out of it, something like that. And it also depends what kind of point style you're going for too. So you basically just want to work these edges down and try to thicken them up a little bit, where the thin. That happens too. When you're working flakes, you get a lot of weird breaks like that. So probably eliminate some of this up here. It's pretty thin, so we might be able to save some of that tip. So I try to make all these platforms, hammerstone platforms, so I don't know if it's this light or what it is. Let's try to put that light over there. Sorry guys, just trying to figure this lighting out here. I think behind actually is probably best place for it. Yeah, it's gonna look best. So where's that platform? Right back here. I'm actually better using my hammerstones standing up. I know it sounds weird, but take some thinning strikes here to thin this edge down on this side. And you don't really want to do a lot of isolation with a hammerstone. once you get your high spots off, then you can start throwing some pressure flaking. Why there's such a glare on this? I wonder if these lights need to be higher. That's probably what it is. Try to make it slide. Sorry guys for doing this thing. But we're gonna hit that right there. Probably make that a little bit steeper. Probably gonna take a strike back this way first, and then come in and get this underneath here. So we'll do that. And I typically probably use some antler on some of this, but for the sake of people buying flakes like this from me or anybody, it'll just show that you can use just these two tools to make a small arrowhead. You know, sometimes smaller pieces can be tough to make because obviously you have a lot less area to strike, so everything has to be pretty accurate. Don't have a lot of room for mistakes. And I'm saying, you know, if you want to make something a point that's flaked decently, this is what you want to do. Now, if you just want to make something that looks like an arrow point, you can just take a piece like this and chip it down into a triangle and done. But if you want something that has some balance, is somewhat uniform, that would probably be functional, then you want to reduce it this way. And like I said in the beginning, a lot of times you get these flakes and you might get into them and they break. That one shot the whole way across. It's actually a really nice piece of flint. We're gonna take a couple more strikes here, and then we're gonna jump right into some pressure flaking. Sort of thin this back out here a little bit, yeah, with a strike. I wish this light wasn't so screwed up. I don't really understand what's going on here, guys. I noticed it in my other video that it was like there's like a really bad glare on everything. That's even worse. Just bear with me. I'm not editing this out or anything, so it just is what it is. I feel like the same as if you were sitting here with me while I was napping. I'm just gonna be playing around with stuff. Alright, well that's just gonna be the deal. So anyway, we're back here. Take a straight across here off that platform that's you really can't see because it's so glared out. Didn't go as far as I wanted it to go, but start drawing some pressure flakes out of this then. So there's our preform. It's a little ratty yet, but and typically I'd probably use my ishy stick to take out some of these high spots just to get a little extra power. But again, we're not going to do that. We're just going to straighten this edge out now. I'm just going to go around and straighten this edge out completely. You know, I talk about using the antler and stuff a lot, but it is tough to learn how to do stuff with the antler, and it makes you want to not do it because it's terrible sometimes. But once you figure it out, I'm telling you right now, it's copper tools just don't even make sense. I know a lot of you guys use copper, but I'm telling you, if you learn how to use these natural tools, they work better. There's something about them. We got a high spot on the back here yet. And I think, again, I'd probably use my ishy stick and just knock it right out, but for the sake of the video, I just want to try to use these two tools to make a little arrowhead. Okay. Find my soft leather here. I did have it. I'm all out of it today, guys. What's going on here? Alright, so I don't have a soft hand leather pad. Anyway, I wanted to tuck some soft leather behind here because I wanted to be able to have something for support behind it. But I think I'm just going to draw this straight in. It's going to be a little bit tougher to do with this. I'm going to knock out this in here with this pressure flaker if it goes. Now this here, I'm pushing in, so it isn't just me going like down. I'm actually pushing in on the piece hard and then quick pop. Probably able to get all this, but we'll see. Got some of it. Just gonna try to take that off with the hammerstone here. Kind of risky at this point, but I don't want to use my ishy stick, so we're just going to do it this way. Hopefully I don't break it. Let's see what happens. Right there. Got pretty much that across there. Now we can lower this edge on the other side and come back on it. It's a little crusty in there. You know, it's a flake, so it's close. This flake was close to the surface of the rock. This one here should get it. Let me grind this up a little bit. I don't know what's up with this lighting, guys. I really don't. Maybe it'll turn out better on camera, so I'm hoping. That's really crusty in there. It got a lot of it right there. A couple strikes in there. Try to take one from the base here yet. There we go. Got almost all that on that second strike there. And like I said, they get smaller and smaller. You don't get a very big one out of a piece that size. All right. Go back to some pressure flaking here, and this will be what we'll finish up with. I'm just making a basic arrowhead. Just something that you can make. Nothing too fancy. A little bit of edge work yet. And she's gonna be a little thicker. That's basically what you want to go for, is just a thick looking piece of crap. I'm just joking. But no, you know, like I said, a lot of times these pieces, like, there's some chalky area in the back, so you're not going to make the thinnest thing in the world with some of these flakes, unless you get some really good flake, which I got. I have some smaller pieces that I made that are really nice. Like, you wouldn't even think, some of the pieces that I have, you wouldn't even think that they came from a flake, because they're that good. Yeah, because there's one side on here where the cortex was all crusty. It always looks thicker on camera. And then we'll just throw some quick notches in on it real quick. Throw some quick notches real quick. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is basically what you can make with I mean, if you're flint knapping, you don't always got to make the. You don't always got to strive for the biggest piece you can possibly make, or whatever. Sometimes it's fun just to play around with some of your debitage. Or if you're just learning, it's a great way to start by just picking up some flakes and making a simple arrowhead out of them. Do a little trimming up down here. I always do my notches and clean the edges up. I mean, that's getting very, 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 very close. We won't do too much more cleaning up on this. I'll just let it go as is and say, in what? How many minutes did I waste? Well, I'm at 23 minutes, but it doesn't account for the blabbering I did for the first 10. But yes, basically you could make something just like this. Take this one little spot out here. Yeah. I'm not trying to be super critical or anything. There we go. Looks good enough. But basically, there you go. Just a small arrowhead. 20, let's say 16 minutes. Make yourself a small arrowhead. And all they used was hand pad and a hammerstone and a white-tailed deer antler as a pressure flaker. And you can make something like that. Oh yeah, well, sorry. Notching tool. That's if you want to put notches on it. Could have made a stem point. Probably should have done that, but that's it, guys. Nothing special. Didn't go real detailed on the edges. It's got some girth to it here, but that's it. Nap your debitage later on.